It's action.
Rolling.
Rolling.
There's nothing actually rolling.
There's nothing rolling. Yeah. Except your fucking eyes.
Yeah, right. Click, click, click.
What's good, you creeps?
As you can tell, unscripted. Unscripted podcast. Fucking 85% of your stuff is about murder.
About murder. That's fair. Because our listeners love fucking murder. Hit them up with the Gmail.
You can send us an email with your suggestions, comments, or concerns at basedonTrueEventsPodcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
That's the worst thing I've ever had to do.
So we're clapping because we've heard that when we're trying to match up I've heard when you're trying to match up an audio clip or an audio video, when you have two separate tracks, the only way to do it is by a clap at the beginning. So that hence the clapping at the beginning of our. What's up?
I love how the decision to make that we made was to try all this out while we're recording. An episode instead of actually, doing what normal people probably do and like, oh, let's do a test run or
test run.
Nah, man.
Yeah, we don't. We
fucking
not our strong suit.
Ready, fire, aim.
That's right.
That's the way we roll, apparently.
And I tell you, we've done all right. I think we're steadily improving.
Yeah.
And we're doing it all live.
What's the old adage? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. I feel like some of our glory has come from just failure upon failure.
Well, don't do that again.
Yeah, exactly. No, that one didn't work quite as we had planned.
Right.
So
what's up, man?
Oh, just the dream.
Living the dream.
I guess, man. Dude, it was a good weekend, man. We went and saw my parents.
Sweet.
We haven't seen them since quarantine.
Oh, wow,
actually,
not at all.
Before that. Well, we've done like some Zoom stuff with them, and we have like a Zoom meeting with them every week.
Right. But that's still different.
But we haven't been in the same house with any of them since.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
And I got my COVID test last week.
Did you really?
Yeah, my wife and I both went.
All right, so I got to ask because I trust you.
Yeah.
Scale from 1 to 10, how gnarly?
It is unpleasant.
Is it?
Yeah, because where we went, you have to do it.
Oh, no.
And not only do you have to do it, but like the way that they do it is like in the nose.
Yeah.
And so you got to like shove it back there, and then you got to tilt your head back and you got to shove it in there, and then like when you hit a wall, like they're like, okay, push farther.
Nope.
And so you push it back there, and then they're like, okay, now you got to twist it for 3 seconds or 10 seconds or something. And so you're doing that, and it's unpleasant.
Gag reflex. Oh boy.
And then you pull it out, and you're like, oh thank God. And they're like, okay, now the next nostril.
Oh no.
So you shove it up the other nostril, and you do the same thing, and then you have to put it in the thing and pop it in there. I
don't know if I could administer my own COVID test.
I mean, dude, just suck it up, man. It's like fucking 15 seconds.
Well, no. I'm fine to have someone else do it. I just don't know if I can. When they say push further, I'm like, I've got weird gag reflex, man.
It's in your nose.
Yeah, but doesn't it go like? Don't you feel it like in your throat, like just?
No, you feel it in your fucking brain.
In your brain.
Like it's like your sinuses. Like you're up in the fucking business.
Way up top. Oh man, I don't know.
So
I feel like I would gag, but.
I've never gagged because of something in my nose before.
Like drainage, dude.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not.
It's all.
Unless I did it very wrong, which the Q-tip thing breaks off at the very front or whatever. So you can't go too far without risking literally having to be excised by a doctor. So
literally poking.
Like literally, like you get in there and like once it gets to a certain level, you're like, okay, that's the wall. And it's not like you gotta go and go back another little bit, and then I'll tell you I mean that was unpleasant. Going back the next little level was unpleasant, but the twist,
Oh, really?
That because it's like bristly, and then you feel it like in that weird spot between.
Oh, like yeah, you're in the back of your eyes.
Everything.
It starts
like it doesn't make you gaggy. It made me sneeze a lot.
Okay, right.
But yeah, I mean, it was very actually pretty streamlined process. Like it went pretty fast.
That's good. No. I'll absolutely suck at it, even if it was painful. I just wanted to know what to expect. I mean, it's for a good thing.
It's
and
uncomfortable.
Right.
It's not really painful.
It's not a pain. Right.
So.
No, man.
I mean,
I think eventually everybody needs to.
Well, yeah.
So.
But so like, Ashley and I both did it. And somebody asked me if we were gonna, subject my kid to that. I'm like, look, like if Ashley and I both do it and both of us come back negative, if one of us in the house has got it, everybody's got it.
Like, we sleep.
We're all like in each other's face. Like, my kid's eating off my plate. Not like that I'm giving him stuff off my plate. Just he'll fucking grab and.
Oh, dude, my kid literally shoved his finger in my nose today.
Yeah,
like, dude, there's no way that my kid, if I got it, dude's got it.
Yeah, so
and vice versa.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it
well,
just is
hey,
what it is.
No, peace of mind probably, a little bit of.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, I just think everybody, whatever you need to just.
I mean, I would agree with that as a statement. Like you hear okay, is the testing even accurate? Like how often is it given false negatives, that kind of thing? Like, I mean, I don't know that we have a real good. I don't think we have it really nailed down anyway. Like they can't even decide on a fucking symptoms list.
Yeah, right.
Like they really don't have a communicative list either. I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, I'm done talking.
I'm sorry. I started. Yeah, but when you said that, I was like, okay, so I just want to know from somebody I trust.
Yeah.
I've heard people go, "Oh, it's awful," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you still got to do it." But I'm just wanting to know what to expect, mainly because I'm a huge sissy when it comes to strange testing.
I would say like my wife got through it, and that's not like a bash on her.
Sorry, you give it okay.
But like between her and I, like I have a different pain tolerance than she does.
Well. And that's why I wanted to know.
She had her kid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, true. That's fair. Women have a higher tolerance for pain usually, but you are kind of. If I had said, okay, a pain scale from 1 to 10, and you said 6, I'm like, dude, that's like a 15 for me. I'm done. I'm not. Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna start panicking.
For me, like 3, it was uncomfortable. Okay. It was uncomfortable. Right. It was unpleasant, but it wasn't painful.
So a solid 6 to 7 for me.
Yeah.
And it's still doable.
Yeah. You can make it through. I'm telling you, what you need to prepare yourself for is the twist, not the push. Because honestly, like you got kind of adrenaline going, like when you're in that line. So when you shove it in there. And then like
for those tuning in just now, we are not talking.
Yeah. Well, so when you shove it in and then you go back to the next level, that's kind of like adrenaline taking over. Yeah. It's the twist where it's like, like
awkward.
Yeah, it's like
uncomfortable. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, cool. All right. Well, that's all I want to know. So, no more COVID talk.
But I will say that we got our test results back in like 2 days, 3 days or some shit.
Oh, word.
So, and it was like, okay, negative. So.
I assumed that you would have let me know if it was positive.
Yeah,
we're sitting.
This wouldn't have gone down, bro.
That's right.
This wouldn't have gone down.
That's right.
But we'd been around a lot of people. Like we'd actually been to our first restaurant since all this stuff happened. We'd been, around some relatives that we hadn't seen. We were getting ready to be around my relatives, which we hadn't seen, and my wife and I both just felt like, all right, like let's just get this knocked out.
Well, dude, and as we're talking about this, and this will be where I say my piece, but like I feel like I probably have a responsibility
to the
for other people. Well, yeah, absolutely, because I mean I'm very careful at work, but people come in all day long, and even if I keep my distance, if I've I could have had it, I'm what do they call it, asymptomatic, and that's fair, but that's not safe for other people. So I feel like I have a responsibility, and so I need to go get it done.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
Like I mean, but it's really, I mean, not to shit on anybody else. Like if you guys think I'm like, some fucking great human being like trying to do this no, man, I'm fucking selfish as shit. This is for my family. And,
yeah, right.
Like, and honestly, like, you know, I think I saw something the other day where it was like every time I swallow now, I'm like hyper aware of everything. I'm like hyper aware of everything in my body, and I'm like, okay, is that COVID or is that just what having a throat feels like, kind of
Right.
thing? And I'm just like, all right, man, it is what it is.
It
bro.
is what it is. That's right. So, well, all right.
COVID.
Next time on,
Yeah.
I will give you my take on
Yeah.
the test because I am gonna go get it done. I didn't realize it was that easy to go get tested.
Yeah,
at this
dude.
point.
Like we registered online, and I didn't do it. Like my wife registered for herself online, and I didn't realize that. I mean, being a fucking idiot, I didn't realize that I needed to do that before we got there.
Oh
That
wow,
I needed
yeah.
to like do something because you don't really have any interaction with anybody. Like you drive up and they have these signs, and you don't even roll your window down.
You do it in the car?
Yeah, like it's a drive-through, man. So
Oh shit.
yeah, so like
Okay.
you pull up and then you like they literally like through the window they ask you for your registration form. You show that first, and then the next one is like
You're like, what form?
You fucking well no, we were driving there and she was like filling it out online for
Oh
me.
right, okay.
And then like we pull up into the drive-through thing, and you literally this guy like you pull up and this guy holds up a piece of paper with a phone number on it. You call that phone number and you do all your fucking stuff with the guy on the phone, and then they hand you the baggie with the shit in there.
Walking you through the test.
Yeah, like this is what you
instructions.
need to do, like da 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 da. So,
So technically, somebody could easily screw the pooch on that test and not get enough. Well, like if nobody's supervising, they're like,
well, no,
oh,
there's
here's
a dude standing out the window that hands you the bag.
He's
that
like, go
and he's-
further.
Yeah, and he's like
Okay.
paying attention to like what you're doing.
Okay.
So it's
That the
but
dude on the phone, and I'm like,
dude
what?
the dude on the phone makes sure that like you're matching like your information to the test.
Yeah,
like
okay,
he's
okay.
like, okay, are you registered today? What's your name? What's your date of birth?
It's organized, dude.
Yeah,
right
man,
on.
So they've got it pretty nailed down. So
Go Kentucky.
I don't know if it's Kentucky. It was Walmart. That's where we got it done.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so
All
it's,
right.
it's literally like in the city, like it's one of the drive-through places.
Right.
And it was fast as shit.
It's not
Like, we
Walmart
did-
giving the test just for those.
Yeah, no, it's just there.
It's in the parking lot because it's huge.
Yeah, so like, and literally it was not even 30 minutes.
Dude, if Walmart was giving COVID test, you know how packed and Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
dude.
like, but I mean,
Oh
it was
my gosh.
it was peace of mind for me to not have to go into a place.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
No,
that's
I
cool.
agree. That's why I said in the car. That makes me feel okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so
All right. Enough of this.
yeah,
Thanks for sharing. I
Yeah.
asked, dude. My bad. I didn't mean to, but I'm curious about that shit. I'm sure other people are too, actually, because I didn't realize it was that simple to get a test.
yeah, it's easy.
All right.
They I mean, come on, it's easy.
All right. Well, no. I'm going to do it.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to do it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. I don't want to worry about the plague.
It's hot outside. You stay in your car. Shit.
Yeah.
My AC's too cold.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have enough time on my lunch break.
Right. Well, if you enjoy this type of banter, folks, you've come to the right show.
Yes.
Go to our website, which is our main hub, before we jump into the social medias.
BOTEpodcast.com.
Nailed it. Right on. I'm so proud of you. BOTEpodcast.com. You can find all the links to all our social medias. We've got...
Do all our interacting in there.
Yeah. We actually have merch, which is something exciting. We've been working on some ideas. Shep usually throws out these, what I think are brilliant T-shirt ideas. Or actually, some is like, it's just some T-shirts. Some it's going to be artwork. Some shit, a mug.
A mug.
Whatever. But and I hopefully do the right thing and get them done so that they're going to be available to anybody that wants them soon.
It's original merchandise based on episodes or, content that we have provided.
Yeah,
So-
perfect. Yeah, it's exactly right.
It's if you dig what we do and you find us funny or interesting, you might be able to find something in the merch shop that tickles your fancy.
That's right.
For those of you who are suggesting episodes, and we're getting ready to get back into that world very shortly, the I Wrote for Boat shirts, one that Joshua is wearing currently.
Now, to be fair, since we do have video, hopefully, knock on wood, that these 3 cameras, one of them doesn't fuck up, or one of them actually works. This is an embroidered original.
It is. It's his. If a dude wears it, is it salmon? Because that's like coral or pink.
My shorts are salmon. I think this is like literally hot pink.
Yeah,
and purple.
I don't know, man. It's dope. So he embroiders the I wrote for boat shirts.
I wrote for Bert.
Bert's our silent partner.
That's right.
Anybody wants to know how the sausage is made, Bert's in there.
It's Bert.
But now, so the I wrote for boat shirts.
I know, dude. Yeah.
Are a little bit more unique than anything that you're gonna find in the merch shop.
Yep.
So, and for those of you who are in the first year, I guess, of I wrote for boat, we're gonna reach out to you when we send you a shirt, and there might be some negotiation on what kind of shirt you get.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. In fact, I think one of number 2 or 3, third month. What's your buddy overseas?
Tim.
Wasn't he?
Tim Morris, yeah. He came with a hell of a suggestion.
Yeah,
and
requested a shirt specifically with the thing on it. So
but it had nothing to do with the episode that he suggested,
right.
which was hilarious.
Yeah.
So, when we reach out to you, if there's something that strikes your fancy,
hit us up. Let us know.
Maybe if you just want like a Dallas Cowboys shirt.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
We'll send you something from Amazon. I don't know.
Exactly right.
Like we'll both sign the bottom. I wrote for both.
I wrote for both. There you go. If you just want a shirt with a picture of Shep on the front, that's it. We can do. But no, I'm excited about the merch stuff, man, because one, I think that, you specifically have a bunch of one-liners and really good ideas, and I would totally rock these shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're cool.
Well, you kind of
I'm biased, but I still think they're cool.
I mean, I might have like the framework for a shirt, but you've really kind of been the one who's like stepped up with the artwork. Like I said in one of like our posts, like I would mess up a stick figure, so I can't draw shit. So, that it is what it is. So it's joint effort,
team effort,
joint effort.
You complete me.
Oh, okay.
Blech.
But for everyone who wants to know, we're now splitting up the podcast, and
next on the agenda. But yeah, so definitely keep the suggestions coming. Really short story long there, but because we do them, we pay attention, and we do pick our favorites still. And as far as we've got a voting thing that Shep kind of just switched up.
Yeah,
we're gonna be posting that soon. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, so like with the along with suggestions for those of you who don't want to dip your toe in the suggestion pool, which we still recommend that you try. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
But you can vote on not only what episode you want to hear, but you can vote on which one of the assholes behind the mic
you want to do it.
Yeah. So if you're tired of hearing Shep tell a story about history, you can watch Josh's brain explode as he tries to whittle through the internet.
Watch Joshua totally fuck up our history lesson for the day. Yeah, not my strong suit.
Yeah,
so what that episode would turn into is basically Shep correcting me the entire fucking time, which would be hilarious for some of you probably. So do what you want.
Yeah,
we're not gonna. We're game.
At this point, man, we are trying to just make the podcast as much about our listeners as we can as possible.
As possible. That's right.
You guys have been loyal and pushed us and really, kind of taken things to the next level for us. So we're super appreciative, and we want the product that we produce to be the product that you want to be a part of.
Yeah, it's only fair.
Yeah.
I mean, and shit. So hopefully you guys will keep listening this way. So that's the idea.
Yeah.
So hit us up on social media, Facebook and Instagram. We are
Based on True Events Podcast.
Yeah, on the Twatter.
Podcast Boat.
There it is. Just look for Based on True Events on YouTube.
Yep.
Or just go to our website.
Yeah.
BOTEpodcast.com, and you can find all that shit.
BOTEpodcast.com.
That was a good infomercial.
Yeah, it was. Not bad.
Yeah.
All right, man. So move on to the next thing.
Shit. I think that's it, man.
Okay.
I think the next thing is your turn to do an episode,
My
bro.
turn for an episode.
Brah. What is it?
Brah.
Episode 7, I think, of season 3.
Is it?
I may be wrong. 6 or 7.
I don't know, man.
We've done a lot. We've been doing this for almost a year, man.
Yeah, dude.
October, I think we decided.
Yeah,
of last year.
October will be a year.
Which, speaking of
which is weird because it's not actually. That's when you and I started recording.
Right,
but we didn't release until November, I believe.
Yeah, because we had a stockpile built up.
Well,
which
I think we did that because we're both lazy MFers, and we were like, okay, if we get like 6 of these built up, then you went to like China.
Well, that's why, because I was leaving the country, and
you're really patient zero for COVID. You probably came back from China on your vacation and just brought us all back
to America. That's right.
Yeah, just brought COVID.
It was me.
You probably didn't even get it in China. You probably got it in an airport in fucking
Detroit.
That's
where that was our layover.
Yeah. I'm not talking shit about Detroit. We haven't made a what the fuck Detroit episode yet, so
no. I wouldn't want to piss off a lot of people in Detroit. Well, that was very stereotypical. I apologize.
Oh my god!
How dare I?
Oh my god!
No, what the fuck? What was I getting?
You went to China for your
vacation.
Skip
past all that shit. No.
But we've been doing this for almost a year.
Oh, right.
We're
so
like 10 months, 8 months.
Well, what I was trying to say was, not really off the subject, but is with Halloween in October, which is like my fucking time of year. You know what I mean? Well, yours too. For most part, but like no Halloween this year. I guess maybe quarantine. Are they gonna shut down Halloween?
Dude, I don't even fucking look ahead anymore, man. I got today and maybe like the first 3 hours of tomorrow kind of sorted.
Yeah, right.
And then it's like, okay, man, kind of adjust
as
needed.
One day at a time. That's fair.
Yeah,
I'm in the same mentality. But I just kind of thought about that because I was like, shit, it's been a year, which is October, Halloween, and I'm like, holy fuck, Halloween.
Yeah. So
this is important.
Is it
for me?
Okay. You fucking take
Halloween's
your
every
your
day.
Fucking creepy dolls out and just
put them on the yard.
Put them out in the yard.
Surefire way to have no one come to my house.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I'm good with that. I fucking hate trick or treaters, dude.
Do you
come to my house and ask me for food? Fuck you.
Oh, that's
get the fuck off my porch. Like,
that's amazing.
I don't give a shit about it.
And here I am dressed up last year as Pennywise, like, hi kids,
dude,
here's your fucking candy.
I'm gonna make just take a weird detour before my episode, but we a couple last year or 2 years ago we had one of our neighbors, we're actually pretty close with the neighbor, who's just recently moved and does not listen to the podcast, does not know the podcast exists, so I'm going to talk about them horribly right now.
Okay.
Not really horribly, but anyway, one of the kids, they got 3 kids. One of the kids comes up and he's got the mask on and it's got the ears and he's got fucking, it says the Bat on his shirt and he's got a cape on and all this stuff, and I was like,
Batman?
I was like, oh, Batman. He goes, the dad looks at me in this scowl and he's like, he's just a bat. And I'm like, well, why am I the asshole? Do you,
dude, who's a bat?
Yeah, he's wearing a mask. I'm like, all right, man. I was like, whatever.
Would have been a lot cooler if you did, man.
I was like, just stop knocking on my door.
Take your bat,
your
uncreative ass out of here.
I mean, I guess it's super creative because all the kids are Batman, but I mean, I guess you didn't want to pay for the trademarked costume, or maybe your kid doesn't know Batman exists, and when his life opens up, when you show him a comic book, he's gonna be like, "Well, why the fuck was I a bat for years?
What were you hiding from me? Holding out,
so.
Or at least be a vampire, fucking turning it anyway."
Well, I mean, I don't know. So,
hey, I'm a bat. Hey, I'm a bear.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, cool.
Super.
Yeah. Parenting 101.
Yeah, so
don't dress your kid up as a bat for fucking Halloween.
Just let's can we get it into the lane where your kid comes to my house and begs me for candy, then I know what the fuck he is with a glance.
Right.
That's
very true.
Don't make me play the guessing game and I'm the asshole for guessing wrong. Put a fucking sign up or carry a book.
I'm not Batman.
It's not Batman. It's a bat. Okay. Where's your sign, asshole?
Why aren't you upside down?
So, yeah, I'm sorry. Mini rant complete.
Fair. That was justified. That was fair.
If you're gonna make your kid some obscure character from the legend and lore, can you at least mark them some way,
Yeah.
so that I won't, or just don't look at me like I'm the asshole for not guessing it. Like,
Right. Just correct me.
he's the third god of the Aztec. Fuck you. Get off my fucking porch.
Yeah, I don't know that guy, but fuck him.
Yeah. Just
Poor kid.
Get off my fucking porch.
Get
asshole.
out of here. Give me that candy bar back.
Yeah, And actually, I'm gonna take my candy bar back, and I'm gonna do a fucking full hand scoop out of your fucking
Your
stupid little pumpkin.
I'm taxing your ass.
Yeah, you know who gets the most candy from me? The kids who carry the fucking pillowcase.
Yeah.
You know, because that's entrepreneurial, in my opinion. Like, you are like not even no, the man doesn't even get the plastic pumpkin money.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
you're just going for the fucking pillowcase.
And it's bigger than the pumpkin.
Yeah, exactly. So
Smart,
man. That's, I'm dumping candy into your.
Just take the whole fucking
Yeah,
thing.
here you go, kid. And that's when I run out of candy, I can shut the lights off. So
Hey, I'm done. I'm out.
yeah,
That's true.
go back to
The first kid, please have a fucking big bucket.
Yeah, go back to watching like horrible fucking
Yeah.
horror movies on TV.
Yeah, what's the one you just sent me?
I don't know. Oh,
Had the word bad in it like twice.
yeah, it was like Bad Raccoons or some shit. Or no, it was like, I don't know.
The Bad Raccoons or
Yeah, it was Bad Raccoons 2 or some shit. And it had dark in the explanation line twice.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is so bad.
It's gonna be great.
It's got to be terrible.
Yeah. Speaking of terrible,
Yeah, this episode is. I don't know if I'm dragging my feet on it because I'm just not a fan of this episode. It's not that it's a bad episode, and he's a heavy hitter, and so I'll kind of jump in.
let's rock a heavy hitter.
But
Damn, okay.
yeah, so I picked the Nightstalker.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah,
Dude, that's a big time heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Who I know very little about, which is really weird.
It's not shocking. All these heavy hitters that I've pulled out of the woodwork, you're like, I don't think I know much about this gentleman.
No, but like so with Geen and one of the other one, well, like the Iceman, I didn't know, and this guy,
Yeah.
I know obviously of the Nightstalker, but I don't know a lot of the details. And Geen, I kept getting mixed up with Gacy for whatever reason.
Wow, that's very weird. But
Just I think it was the name.
I thought
honestly.
you were getting Geen mixed up with Fish.
Or maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Gacy's the clown.
No,
like,
the clown. I know. Yeah, you're right.
So, but anyway, so the Nightstalker, I actually picked him up because I will say that of all the serial killers and whatever mass murderers, however you want to break down what we've researched, some of the creepiest pictures of the actual killer have been Rodriguez.
The Nightstalker?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, he's...
Yeah, or Ramirez, sorry.
Ramirez.
Yeah.
Well, he was the guy who we were joking about, like, okay, if you see him, you're like, yeah, guilty.
Yeah,
Like, dude
for sure.
looks like the fucking...
And
looks like a serial killer.
So, I mean, like, I say that I'm, like, not stoked about doing this episode, and I say that because, I don't know, like, this one kind of, like, curled my brain a little bit. And it's not, like, so I'll just get in the episode, and I'll kind of explain. I'll explain backwards as to why this kind of curled me a little bit.
Okay, cool.
So, our story begins. Actually, our story begins at a very young age for the Nightstalker. I'm just going to call him Richard or Dick. The rest of the episode because.
But his full name is.
Richard Ramirez. Actually, if you want like his whole name, it's fucking Ricardo Laveva Munez Ramirez.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I knew it was a long ass.
Yeah, it's I butchered it because I'm bad at Spanish. So anyway, he was born in El Paso, Texas. His father was actually a Mexican national. I think he worked for the police force in Texas also. There's not a lot of. I mean, I'm sure I could have dug, but I'm not trying to.
Right.
I'm not trying to shit on his parents because I don't really attribute what happened with this guy to his parents. Now there are some family members that I do believe get some heavy credit for his issues, and we're gonna get into that.
All right, sweet.
So whilst living in Texas, he sustained 2 pretty severe head injuries at a very young age. One time, a dresser fell over on him and hit him in the head.
Oh, dude.
And that fucked him up pretty good. Got him a concussion, and then later on,
Got to tie that shit to the wall, man.
a swing. Like, remember old school swings, like the wooden swings?
The outdoors,
Outdoor
the
swing.
one plank of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking strikes him in the head, knocks him unconscious.
Damn.
And from that point on, throughout most of his teenage years, he suffered from epileptic episodes and seizures.
Wow.
So
Dude, he got whacked.
already not off to a great start.
Yeah, right.
So they lived in, just a basic Texas town, but he was kind of befriended mostly by one of his cousin Miguel. And his cousin Miguel was a Green Beret who spent time in Vietnam.
Damn, Miguel.
And I don't know if I'd parade Miguel as a champion of life.
Okay, fair enough.
So at a very young age, I'll say like 12-ish, Richard became very interested in Miguel's work in the Green Berets in Vietnam, which Miguel apparently had quite the library of photographs of the people that he had killed while in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
And would show the pictures of the deceased to Richard. And
fuck Miguel.
yeah, so he noticed that Richard enjoyed these stories and the pictures, so he kind of took Richard under his wing and taught him stealth stalking, and talked about how if Miguel was going to kill someone, this is how he would go about doing it, and really kind of took Richard Ramirez under his wing and kind of taught him the ropes, so to speak.
So Miguel's entirely to blame.
Well, there's more.
There's
more.
Okay.
So one night, and I didn't pick up time, like what time of
night?
His life.
He
was in his young teens or whatever. But he sees Miguel and his wife arguing. Miguel and the wife have this heated argument, to which point Miguel walks into the other room, grabs a .38, and shoots his wife in the face, killing her right in front of Richard Ramirez.
Jesus.
Miguel pleads insanity, but still spends 4 years in prison at the time.
Insanity, like PTSD, or
they didn't really have PTSD back then,
right? I know.
But pleaded like, I was insane
because
when this happened.
Because of
but he spent 4. He didn't. I said prison. He actually spent 4 years in a mental institution, and then was released back into the population. When Miguel was sent up the crick, so to speak, Richard moved in with his sister and his sister's husband. His sister's husband was like a peeping Tom, an abhorrent peeping Tom. And Richard would go out at night with him as they would stalk the local neighborhoods and try to find women undressing in windows, and basically really kind of like fine-tune that night stalking skill that he'd already kind of previously been nurturing.
I know how to peep on him, and I know how to kill him.
Yeah, so
he's got the arsenal.
There we go. A little bit. There we go. So
mystery solved.
Yeah, mystery solved. Right. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's that. I have notes today.
Great role models.
So,
yeah. By the way, notes, folks. You heard it right.
So
this is unbelievable.
So at some point, I love this. And when I was doing my research, one of the things I read, I had to steal it. It was like, at some point, his deviant sexual interests and his penchant for murder kind of meshed into this hodgepodge of bullshit. I mean, it's basically like, he's got a couple head injuries at this point.
Yeah.
His role models are
fantastic role models.
Are kind of shitty at best. So
did he continue with the epileptic?
They said it kind of like, I don't know if it cleared up when he was in high school,
grew out of it or something,
or if they just like stopped talking about it. But right. They said it lasted throughout his high school years, or his I say high school, but come on, man. Yeah. This kid dropped out. He drops out and he gets a job at the Holiday Inn.
Hey, at the Holiday Inn,
where he takes the interesting advantage of having a key to everyone's room.
Oh, shit.
And he starts going around to all these rooms and stealing whatever he can kind of get his hands on, trinkets, gold watches, shit like that. But it's weird because like he kind of does this to like support himself, but it's really more just like the thrill of stealing, I think, at this point.
Yeah, and probably the voyeur, like being in someone's room, like that whole creeper.
So he ends up losing his job at the Holiday Inn because
busted stealing, I'm assuming.
He had used the key to get into a room where he was attempting to rape a man's wife. The man came back to the room and then beat the fucking shit out of him.
Oh, good.
Like beat him within an inch of his life. And then when the police were called,
rightfully so.
So when the police were called, the husband and the wife decided to not press charges against him because they were from out of town and they did not feel like having to come back and testify.
Fuck this town.
In the rape case or the attempted rape case. So
okay, this is attempted. So essentially, they left.
We don't know at what point
Dude
they really
in.
were.
Okay, right.
You know. So, but this is considered like supposedly like kind of one of his first attacks. Wow. So,
dude, if only that dude had literally beat him to death, he could have saved some lives.
Right.
Or gone back and pressed charges. You never know. Change the course of time. But no, I don't like this town.
I'm too good to have to come back and testify. And I'm going to let him go back into society.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say, good for that dude. Then I'm like, hold on. Really? Dude tried to rape your wife and
you're just okay with it?
You're
not okay with it, but you're just...
Beat him up, so like, I'm good.
Yeah. Make him better at his craft. Let him back into society.
He's going to do that again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so,
right.
Anyway, at 22, he moves to California. And this is where the game really begins.
Oh, God.
So on April 10th, 1984, the body of a 9-year-old girl was found in the basement of the hotel that he had been staying in.
She said 9?
9. Damn. She had been raped, beaten, and stabbed to death. We're not sure in what order and what issue actually caused the death. Yeah. But when she was found a few weeks later, she was still tied to the drain pipe in the basement of the hotel, at which point Richard had moved along.
Oh, like he was like squatting down, not in a room. He wasn't like in a hotel.
No, it was like in the basement of the hotel.
Like, apparently no one goes.
Yeah, I guess if there's nothing down there that you really need to get to, you don't really need to.
Damn, that's awful.
Yeah. So, dude, we're talking about a fucking heavy hitter serial killer. Like none of his resume. It's not like he's given. Actually, very interesting. So if you see interviews with this guy, he's like one of the creepiest people on the planet.
On the planet.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what he kind of crafted. Everybody who like knew him outside of him trying to rape and kill you said he was extremely nice, very charming man. Like didn't seem awkward in public settings and things like that. Helpful, very understanding. And he is a serial killer that some serial killers kind of they stalk in people that they know, or their hunting ground is communal to people that they know. This dude, he did not do that.
Right. Well, so I obviously I know he's going to be vicious. I know his story somewhat. I mean, but I don't remember children being involved. I thought that he,
as far as I know, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's why I was kind of shocked. Like, holy shit.
So his MO is kind of like your Canada guy.
Oh, yeah.
He enjoys the power of being able to overwhelm someone.
Right.
So it's kind of assumed that this 9-year-old was kind of, it's where it started, but it was also like a power thing.
Yeah. Well, so, somebody that they know that they literally can get away with it.
Yeah. So his next murder Also in 1984, in June of 84.
84, yeah, okay.
A 79-year-old woman was stabbed to death while she slept.
Jesus.
Yeah. Her throat was later slit, and the cutting of her throat that's actually saying her throat was slit is similar to me saying, like he basically almost cut her head off.
Oh wow.
Like, and he sawed it. Like the only thing that kept her head attached was the spine, and so because he couldn't get through the bone. Damn. But he'd gone through all of it. Yeah. So
damn, he went the opposite
9
direction.
to 79.
Yeah.
So, and actually,
while she slept,
yeah,
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, dude. So, and then he kind of takes a little bit of a break for almost a year, and we fast forward to March of 1985,
which is fairly common.
Yeah,
with the FBI's description of a serial killer is they're what they call it, the downtime, cool down period.
That's it. So in 85, around 10 o'clock at night, there was a young woman who was now I've heard this story told multiple ways, but at the end of the day, it works out. One woman's killed, one woman is shot, but just injured. She's not killed. So anyway, the way that I heard the story, kind of the way that I believe it happened is, one of these two roommates comes home. She's unloading groceries about 10 o'clock at night. He comes in through the back door and he, just shoots her in the back of the head, kills her in the fucking spot in her kitchen.
Damn.
While she's kind of in the process or whatever.
Yeah,
so the roommate hears about this, and he
hears about it, or like
hears her,
literally hears it.
Yeah, hears her.
Right. Okay.
And then he goes and shoots her at point blank range, but she survives. So I've heard it other stories is that the roommate who was injured was attacked first, and then he hears the crying of the other roommate, and he goes in and finds her and shoots her in the head, and then he bounces.
But so killed one, shot the other, but she didn't die.
Right. Okay. So this kind of like freaks him out or whatever for some reason, and he leaves. And then an hour later, he drags a 35-year-old woman out of her car in a parking lot and then shoots her shoots her twice.
Damn.
In the parking lot, and then bounces. She actually ends up dying in the ambulance on the way to the hospital.
See, that's some weird shit. Just like killing somebody, but not for... Like, a lot of these guys, we do it if there's like a sexual gratification or they're a sadistic something. Yeah. This is just like...
He's just thrill killing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of the
random
tweak,
too.
The bit of the tweak that my brain got while researching this is because... One of the things that actually made it kind of difficult for the police is that, he uses knives, he uses guns, he actually uses tire iron. He's kind of all over the board when it comes to, like, not only his MO, like his attacks, like what he's doing. Is he burglarizing? Is he raping? Yeah. Is he, because it's not just men, it's not just women, it's no age equivalent, it's just opportunistic.
Right.
Which usually, with a serial killer, there's an MO.
Yeah, there's a type.
That MO makes it easier for the police to kind of narrow the field, so to speak.
Well, yeah, it's going to be hard to catch somebody if there's no pattern.
Yeah. So, 10 days, he waits 10 days between the double attacks. In that 10-day period, the newspaper actually kind of picks up on what's going on, and they start running about this serial killer. That's
10 days is not a cool down time. That's just like regroup.
Yeah, like kind of revel in your media coverage, and then
I was going to say there was no regrouping. This guy didn't even seem like he planned anything.
No.
Like lady car over here, cool.
He doesn't really, because he's not. Like really, he's not hunting these people.
Right.
He's just kind of like goes to a house, doors open, doors not open.
An opportunity
to kill, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I will say he's attacking at night. That's his the Nightstalker.
Nightstalker.
Well, this is one of the few assholes that actually gives himself a name. No,
He gave himself that
yeah,
name?
Yeah, he
Oh,
he
God.
he literally he was sitting in the room with one of his victims, and he goes, "You've been attacked by the Nightstalker."
Oh,
And some bullshit
God.
like that, and it was like, wow.
They shouldn't have even given him the fucking...
Yeah. Yeah, so
They shouldn't have used that. That to him, that's winning. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. But I mean, okay. So anyway,
This is the dude that's always smiling
yeah. Oh,
in the
yeah,
pictures.
dude,
Like, he was happy. He
but
was
super,
proud.
super creepy, dude.
Oh.
yeah.
Which
So,
is what was creepy about it, in my opinion. Like, dude was just... He loved being in the spotlight.
so
It seemed.
I've got some interesting quotes from this dude.
Okay, well, go ahead. Sorry.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
I'll
10,
shut up.
10 days later, after the car park killing of the 35-year-old woman, at 2 a.m., he broke into a house of a 64-year-old man and shoots him in his bedroom while he was sleeping. After the gun goes off, this wakes up the man's wife. The man's wife gets in Richard's way, and at which point he beats the fucking shit out of her. And the entire time he's asking her where their valuables are. And he apparently in a means to burgle.
Wow.
She at some point gets away from him and runs into the other room where the husband had kept a shotgun.
Oh.
She draws the shotgun down on him, pulls the trigger, and the gun is not loaded.
Damn it.
So he proceeds.
Obviously, we knew he didn't die there. I don't know why I was like, what?
He proceeds to shoot her 3 times and then go to the kitchen and grabbing a carving knife and mutilating her terribly. And at this point, he removes both of her eyes, placing them in her jewelry box, and then taking the eyes with him on his way.
Nice little parting gift.
By the way, in that charming little interaction, their oldest son was the person to find the bodies when he came into the house.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's
That's rough.
yeah, it's a little bit of a he's quite the charmer.
Yeah.
He's very much a charmer.
Dude, the eyes, man.
Yeah, so the husband and wife situation where he shot the woman 3 times, this actually gives the police their best lead and lets them know that there's actually a serial killer, because they match the bullets of the gun to the previous couple of the previous crimes.
He used the same weapon.
Yeah, it uses the same weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, so this kind of lets the police know, okay, he's kind of this savagery is all the same dude. They weren't sure if they had multiple people. They weren't sure if it was a group of people. Yeah, I think that's kind of a similar thing. Like, I don't know how. I mean, maybe that's something we got to research. Like, I don't know that there's like a bunch of thrill kill groups. But
no, there's been a
other
couple, than the Ripper crew,
but
not thrill kill. I mean,
like they're like it's a copycat killer, or is it a group of people? And I'm always like, that's kind of the most limited group of the people who do this kind of shit. Like, usually it's just one fucking wacko who's out there doing all this fucking damage.
Changing up the weapon to throw them off, but
like,
eventually
why do you guys immediately go to a copycat killer? Like,
yeah, right.
Like, this dude has barely been in the news, and all of a sudden there's a copycat killer. But anyway, you know, as he continues to go around and kill people, I'm not going to go through all of them, because there's some rough shit out there, but lots of raping. I think one of his last victims was like 13. Yeah, and I'm just gonna.
So that's fine.
Just know that exists.
Right.
But there's lots of pentagrams painted in houses.
So one of the questions, I don't want to take away what you're doing, but was he, marked as a devil worshiper because of the time
very
frame?
Much so.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we get there.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I was trying to refrain.
For the handful of people that he did leave alive, because there were a few that he knowingly left alive.
Okay,
intentionally left alive. He would make them swear their allegiance to Satan before he would let them live.
I'll let you live if
you promise to
Accept the Lord Satan into your home, into your heart.
Yeah. So,
boy, wow.
one interesting piece of this is he was beating this. I'm going to tell the story of the 13-year-old girl. Because I kind of have to tell it. Like, right. So he's beating this girl to death with a tire iron because he can't find a knife. And then he's like, that's not enough for him. So he grabs the cord for a light.
Oh, like a lamp cord?
A lamp cord, and he's choking her to death with it. And the electricity from the cord, apparently it grounds or something, and it shocks the girl back to consciousness.
Oh, no.
And he takes this as a sign from the Lord Jesus Christ that she has been saved by the hand of God and that he needs to leave. So he ends up fucking walking out on trying to kill that girl.
Wow.
So just to kind of let you, like, I didn't want to tell that. Well, I'm not going to go into super amount of detail of a 13-year-old attack, but he did this. He was under the impression that the hand of God had intervened in his work.
Who's his ultimate enemy, obviously, right? I'm assuming. So yeah. He got scared by. Yes. Wow.
So yeah.
Damn, dude. That poor girl, but also that lucky girl.
Yeah, that lucky girl.
Wow.
So.
Fucking. So the Lord works in mysterious ways, folks.
Right. So there's a bunch of shit that kind of goes on. The mayor of Los Angeles County really fucks up at one point. So you have a local populace that is very concerned about the goings on in the surrounding areas and the fact that there's a serial killer on the loose.
Yeah.
So what happens is
what's the body count ish?
So he ends up, it's 14.
14 that he's tried for, or
well, I think 14 is the number that are attributed to him.
Right.
Like he's not evasive.
Okay.
In what's going on.
Got it. I asked that because a lot of our people are like, well, they got tried and
it's 2
arrested for 2, but the number really is 65, and you're like, well, hold on.
Yeah, no. But there were. I mean, I think it was like 14 that he was convicted of murdering, and then it was like 11 that attempted, and then he had it like. I mean, and then there's like serial rape that goes on with all this.
There's some. Yeah. Okay.
I'm kind of sparing some of the grittier details because I feel like the man himself is. Like, I mean, his crimes are brutal and terrible. I'm not saying that, but like the dude himself, like the mania of him is kind of where I want to tell this story.
Yeah, right.
So the mayor of Los Angeles County, I believe it is, she reveals on the news in a press conference one of the details about the murders that the police had kind of kept under wraps and they were going to use as something that they could use to kind of as evidence to convict multiple murders onto one person.
Okay.
And it was the type of she said in this news conference that the police were tracking these murders by the type of shoe that was being worn by the killer. So
I remember something about this.
Later that evening, he goes to the Golden Gate Bridge and actually throws the shoes that he'd been wearing into the water
because he heard the press and fucking damn it.
So at one point, he's using he basically has been stealing cars to kind of get around town, and he's actually very meticulous in wiping his fingerprints off of things. And kind of trying to clean as much of the physical evidence that would lead and tie back to him and kind of clear that up.
Somewhat clever, okay.
But in one of the cars that he had used and had been identified by a 13-year-old kid that lived next door to one of the crime victims, he actually provided the police with almost all of the license plate and the type, model and make of the car.
Damn. Go kid.
They pulled a single fingerprint off the rearview mirror, and I think it's the LASO used that fingerprint to identify.
LASO. Los Angeles.
Los Angeles Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's, okay.
So they
And obviously he had some sort of record.
He did.
Oh, okay.
It was it had to do with like his mental health issues, I believe.
I thought maybe it was the hotel
Holiday
thing.
Inn. Yeah, no, that was all kind of suppressed.
Right.
But there was something that had come up, and his fingerprints were in the system.
Got it. Okay.
And I think it had to do with mental illness.
Okay.
I think there was like a certain medication that you could only get if they had your fingerprints, kind of thing. Whatever, doesn't matter. They had a record of his fingerprints, and so they actually start posting his picture all over the television and on newspapers.
He probably fucking loved that.
He didn't even fucking know about it.
Oh.
He was out of town. He went to go see a family member.
Oh shit!
At the time when all this shit hits the fucking fan,
he was watching to be able to see the bit about the shoes, but he missed the entire fucking.
I think it was like a wedding or something. Like he went out of town for a wedding, and then comes back, and he stops in a gas station.
Oh, just there's no clue.
There's like 5 little old ladies like standing around, and he realizes that they're like pointing at him and talking about him, and they're like, "That's the killer." And he literally looks down at the morning newspaper sitting on the shelf, and it's his picture on the fucking front page. So he kind of like leads the police on this like bullshit fucking chase thing, but they get him eventually.
Yeah, okay.
But he has
he just walked right into it.
Yeah. Well, he was like so assured of himself. You know what I'm saying?
He looks cocky as fuck.
Yeah. So in most gore level of serial killers, they have that kind of like mythos of like the court case and like how they act and during on trial and when society finally gets a view of like this horrible guy.
Let's see the monster unveiled.
This dude does not disappoint. Like he shows up, his first fucking court appearance, he shows his hand to the cameras and it's got a fucking pentagram in a circle on his hand, and he says his exact words were "Hail Satan."
Yeah, dude, I've seen that picture, man.
Yeah, so
he is smug as fuck, going, "Yay!"
He's like, "Hail Satan," and like honestly, like look this dude up. Like every picture I've ever seen of this guy, like he is frightening.
Oh, dude,
like
he is.
Literally, I don't know how it took them over a year to find this guy, because if you see him walking down the street, you're like, "Oh, that's him."
Hey, let's just pull him in and see what he's been up to, because probably killed somebody.
A 5-minute conversation, I'm pretty sure we're gonna solve a few hundred cases.
He really likes the devil.
He is a fan.
He's a fan.
He is a fan. So anyway, so eventually he is convicted of I believe it's 14 murders, 11 attempted murders, serial rapes, burglary, breaking and entering, like all the other stuff they tack on there. Just
everything.
To kind of
make sure
they're like, he got 3 parking tickets on a Tuesday in November. Like
add it to the list, dude.
Get it on there. Get it on there.
Right.
So they end up convicting him, and they convict him to death in the gas chamber.
Oh, okay.
They asked him about his feelings on being convicted to death in the gas chamber.
How do you feel about it?
And he goes, "Big deal. Death was always a part of the territory. I'll see you at Disneyland."
Oh, really?
That was his statement in response to being convicted to death. He did not give a fuck.
Right. Oh, dude, and you know what? I had not heard that quote. Sorry to interrupt. I had not heard that quote, and just from the pictures alone, I can totally see him saying that shit.
Yeah. So
that's what I always hated about him.
Now you want the horrible part of this story?
What? Really?
Yeah, he was released in 2012 for
good behavior,
being criminally insane.
No fucking way.
And he actually died a free man of lung cancer.
Hold on, he was.
I'm just kidding. He didn't get. He wasn't freed.
Dude,
he was never freed.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Hold on.
He never made it to the gas chamber though. He actually did die of some weird fucking rare cancer, I believe.
In prison.
Well, technically he died at like, I think it's like Cedar-Sinai Hospital or some fucking hospital or whatever.
Right.
But yes, he never saw the light of day.
Okay, dude. When you said, I'm like, what, good fucking
No.
behavior? Like, dude just got the gas chamber.
No.
But no, okay. So, but then I did buy when you said insane. I thought maybe they realized he was insane and took him to a mental hospital. Or,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, no, okay, dude, you fucker.
No,
I'm
no.
like, dude, I know he got put to death. I thought, but no, he didn't.
I mean, they were going to, but
Right.
when they're like, then they can go, okay, we can save however much money not putting him to death and just let
He's gonna
cancer
die
eat him.
anyway.
Just let the cancer eat him.
I hope it was painful.
I think that's what they decided on doing. So
Yeah, I hope the doc, he's like, dude, doc, pain meds, and he's like, nah, we're out.
yeah, sorry, we just ran out.
Yeah,
This is
gonna suck.
The guy in the other room
Really needs
he
it.
needed it.
Yeah,
And you are a horrible human being.
and you've killed children
Yes, you've
Suffer.
and raped children.
and oh yeah,
Don't forget about the
couldn't
that portion.
Yeah, thanks.
So he's
Wow.
so we've talked about him on a few other episodes.
Yeah.
I figured it was time that we kind of turned the spotlight
Yeah,
on him.
you surprised me with it, but I'm glad you brought it. Yeah.
There are some gory details about kind of some of the stuff that he did. He was really, I mean, he mutilated, he tortured, he beat, he killed. He used guns, he used tire irons, he used knives.
I knew he was vicious. The thing that I didn't, I'm sorry, you were about to say something.
No, I was just going to say, like, the thing that kind of tweaks my head about him a little bit is that he didn't have an MO.
Right.
It was just all over the place. I mean, sometimes you wait 2 months, sometimes you wait 6 months between a murder, but then he killed the one girl and shoots the other one, and then an hour later he goes and finds somebody in a fucking parking lot and fucking shoots her.
Well, it's almost like he was still living his life. Like you said, he went to a wedding or whatever he did. You know, it's like he was still, like, just in between his normal life, he was doing this.
Like, if I find time,
Yeah.
I'm going to go terrorize the neighborhood.
The reason I haven't done research on this guy and I've never been that interested is because of his smug ass pictures. And he's terrifying, don't get me wrong. Like, those pictures he is a scary looking dude, but he was always smiling and I always hated that.
Yeah.
I'm always like, dude, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, very deserving.
Well, right now that I've
Reason to hate
heard a little bit more, and I guess I'm glad you left out some of the details.
But I mean, I think that's kind of what tweaks my brain is like, sometimes the people are out there just to kill.
Yeah. Some
Some people are out there just to rape. Some people are just out there to menace and destroy. Some people are just out there for money. Some people, we've done serial killers that are strictly only mass murderers and serial killers for money.
Yeah.
And this dude is like all over the fucking road, man. He's like, some people he lets go, some people he kills, some people he rapes, some people he rapes and then kills. Some people he mutilates, some people he just shoots out and then leaves.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that this is a good thing,
anomaly.
Yeah. Anomalous. Like, I think that this is kind of one of the reasons. I mean, I feel like we've gotten in a year of doing episodes about shit like this. A lot of times you can kind of see the thread.
Yeah, you check the boxes.
Yeah, it's like okay.
And I thought we were starting that way with the upbringing. I'm like, oh well, okay, so yeah.
Yeah, but this dude, I mean, he definitely was fucked. But it's like I can't even like categorize like, okay, why? What's his motive?
Right.
And he didn't even have a motive.
Yeah.
It was just, I'm going to torment.
Random. Yeah.
And it's not like he needed, like, sometimes he needed a lot. Sometimes he was like, oh, I'm good for a while, and so it's kind of all over the board. It's not like he was just attacking women. It's not like he's just attacking men. It's not like, he didn't even pick an age group.
The devil made him do it, man.
The devil made him do it, I guess.
Yeah, this is a weird one because there is no motive, not really, other than I'm assuming he gets pleasure out of hurting people. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I mean, he mutilated some of them after they were dead. Some of them he just shot and walked away.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it was kind of hard for me to figure out a direction to go with him, because he has no direction.
Yeah, right.
Like with Geen, you've got like, okay, man, you've got the mother issues. He's only taking women. Yeah. He's collecting body parts. He's eating.
Cannibalism.
He's decorating his house. He wants the first,
Human
DIY house, literally made out of his friends. You know, so I mean, some of these guys, like your dude, the Dusseldorf, the vampire
Yeah,
Dusseldorf,
he
like
was.
you kind of like. I mean, he was kind of all over the board too, but I mean, there was still kind of
Well, he
there was a
intentionally changed
thread.
his weapon
Right.
so that to
This
throw the
dude
police off. He
didn't.
didn't. Right. It was whatever was there.
Yeah, like I mean, he didn't bring a knife. He brought a tire iron, so he's beating the shit
Oh,
out
I
of this
forgot
girl.
my knife.
And
I
he's like,
forgot.
"Oh, I'm gonna choke her with a fucking cord." You know, so I think
And then
that
Jesus spoke. Wow, dude.
it's not.
Yeah, he's a weird one.
It's not that like I want to get in these guys' headspace, you know, but when we're researching these stories, you got to kind of get to the point where it's like, okay, now you know you get to that like point where it's like, okay, if I kind of understand where his motivations are or what's driving this behavior to some
No,
extent.
I get that. I get that.
And this like, dude, how do you prepare a population for we don't know
For just random
acts
dick.
of violence?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know, man. That is true because a lot of them, it's like, okay, well, that's why he did it, and this is what you kind of get some sort of closure.
Yeah.
I guess maybe.
Well, this dude. I mean, he's
closure.
dead.
I get it. He's dead, but you know what? The thing that's a little bit freaky to me is it's like there weren't any real signs of like, you know, some guys they started killing animals. You know, these early childhood signs, and then all of a sudden, like this dude, it just sounds like he
took a master's class from
wow
a Green Beret in Vietnam who
and a
he
peeping
saw shoot that dude's wife, you know,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
you know then he gets hooked up with his brother-in-law who teaches him how to go out at night and go from house to house and blah 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 blah, and you know, so you kind of, I mean, I can kind of see it build, but I would understand it, I guess, like I know this sounds terrible, but I could understand it if he was only attacking women that he found sexually attractive,
Right.
or that, you know, that gratification happened.
Yeah.
100% happy that he didn't just
Do right.
go and, like, I'm
I
not
get what
wanting
you're
him to
saying.
be worse
Worse.
than he is. That's not what I'm saying. But it's the randomness of this guy that it's hard for my head to get around for, and that's weird to say when we've done like Pan's Realm, we've done all these fucking crazy fucking dudes. This one was one of the more difficult ones for me to kind of go, okay, like I kept like I read a whole bunch of stuff on him first, and then, you know, I did my usual like, okay, I'm gonna watch this and that, and I'm just like even like, you know, days of research, and I'm still sitting here like, I can't, like what the fuck is going on?
I find it almost more troubling.
The randomness?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
that you can do this.
that's scary.
Swear to Satan.
There could be
like,
somebody else out there that's just random as fuck.
Yeah, like he's got this whole bit where he's like, you know, swear your allegiance to Satan, and then he thinks that Jesus saved one of his victims, and so I just, dude, it was so all over the road for me.
Well, you've got, you know, crazy extreme Christians, so why not crazy extreme Satanist?
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say which ones?
I'm about to like look up to see if this guy like opened up a shop underneath a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, dude, that's right.
But I mean, you know,
No, he is. Well, dude, he's terrifying just on appearance alone. And now that I hear the story of and his brutality, it makes it. He's vicious. I get why he's a heavy hitter, man. I mean, why people fucking. You know, why he's in the books.
If he'd killed significantly less people, just his overall appearance and his behavior in court would have still put him in the heavy hitter list, I believe. Like his
when they start
response,
acting out in court and they're all proud, dude.
Well,
now they're. I hate that because they're getting what they want. Like I hate that shit.
And like his response to getting the fucking gas chamber was, I
dude,
always knew that the death penalty was where I was going. Like, like, I mean, at that point you're almost like, well, now you're getting life, motherfucker. We're gonna send you the worst fucking prison in the city.
No, I need to be killed so that I can go be with my Lord.
Yeah, no,
Satan.
Fuck, man. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah, man, that he's dark.
Yeah, he's dark, man. He's dark, but it's just like does not compute. Like, I mean, I hate to say that some of these killers, like as dark as they are, it's like your brain can kind of wrap around the fucking situation a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I had not heard of this guy and you started telling the story the way you did, I would not have expected, boom, 9-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like Like some of the guys that we've done, it's okay. Well, when they were 13, they killed their first animal.
Yeah.
And their father beat the shit out of them all the time. And then the one guy, raped his mom in front of him and the kids. It's like, well, I know what's coming.
Yeah, it's like this makes sense.
But I get the really bad really awful role models and seeing someone shot
and a couple head injuries. Like I don't I don't know if I can call it on this, but there's a lot of conversation, especially now, where concussions at a developmental age for kids, for people can do a lot of really fucked up shit to your long-term development, man. And maybe make certain instincts not develop and make other instincts that you really don't want to have develop really kind of jump to the forefront.
Yeah, it knocks out whatever that sympathy.
Yeah, sympathy response.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, you got to think, if you're like you got a borderline personality issue, and then all of a sudden you start removing barriers that is keeping that under wraps, and you're not getting any kind of, fucking medication or help with the problem, you end up with,
it's only going down.
Yeah, you end up with a pentagram on your hand and see it or information on this topic.
Yeah, you're good with him. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Put that one to bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put a couple of photos up, but other than that, I've already seen that, so I'm not going to go digging any deeper.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, so.
But no, I'm glad you did him. I'm glad you researched.
glad I did.
Yeah, well, but because he's a heavy hitter, someone either already has requested, it was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And check it off the list.
We have talked about him.
We talked about him. And, to me, of all the serial killers that are kind of in that fucking realm and genre.
Right.
I don't know why. I think it's almost creepier when they look completely normal.
Yeah.
But this dude kind of just like, you look at a picture of him, you're like, oh, I'm fucking scared of you.
I'm going to the other side of the street on this one.
Yeah. And there's not a whole lot of people that really scare the fuck out of me.
Right.
But this dude would scare me. So.
All right. Nice bedtime
Ramirez.
story, man. Ramirez. Good deal. All right. I got nothing else to say about him, man.
Cool.
Good shit.
Good shit?
Good shit.
Yeah.
Horrible shit, but good shit.
Good
because
shit.
it was a great, You did it justice. That's the word I'm looking for. Later.
Later.